Hi there. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the channel faders. Now, so far, we've gone through the fundamental steps you need to take to compose your first DJ mix. However, up to this point, we've been pressing play and matching the beats on both tracks with the volume turned all the way up. In a normal situation, you wouldn't want the audience to hear the upcoming track from the moment you press play. You would first want to make sure that the tracks are perfectly synchronized, and then you would turn up the volume. The way you do this is by using headphone cues. On pretty much all mixers, you will find cue buttons, usually located above the channel faders. Occasionally on some mixers, such as the XDJ RX, they have a different location, but their function is still the same. So, what these do is allow you to hear the incoming track through your headphones even before the channel fader is turned up, meaning that the track won't be audible through the main speakers, therefore the audience won't hear it, but you will. So, when you're preparing your upcoming track, you want to activate the cue button on the corresponding channel in order to hear it through the headphones. And I've done this right here. This is deactivated, and when the light is on, that means this is activated. Now, what this means is that the signal from this channel will be sent to my headphones even though the volume is turned down. So just in case you don't know, these are the channel faders. You turn up the volume like this, you turn down the volume like this, and this is how you turn on or off music to the audience. Now, you should also have a volume knob located somewhere in your mixer. Again, depending on your mixer, it may be in a different location, but a quick scan through your mixer should tell you where it is, as it usually has the word phones written on it, or there's a little headphone icon on it. Now on this mixer, the Pioneer DJing 900 Nexus 2, the headphone volume knob is located over here on the bottom left, and on most Pioneer mixers, even the all-in-one systems, it's also in the same spot. So to reiterate, push the headphone cue on the channel that is connected to the incoming track, and use the headphone knob to adjust the volume going to the headphones. Now, in most cases, you'll also want to be hearing a little bit of your master track. This is the track that's going out to the audience. This is because even though the track will be playing through the main club speakers, it will sound quite disconnected from what's coming through the headphones, and therefore it will be more difficult for you to synchronize or beat match the tracks if you can't hear at least a little bit of both through your headphones. Now, most DJs would simply push the headphone cue on both channels, but this is not actually the correct way to do this. See, if you use this method, you can't actually control the volume of one track over the volume of the other through the headphones. This is because both headphone cues are pressed, therefore you'll be hearing both tracks through the headphones at an equal volume. Now, the problem with this is that most of the time, you'll actually benefit from hearing your incoming track a little bit more than the master track, mainly because the master track is already audible from the main club speakers. So having the incoming one slightly louder allows you to hear how it blends a little bit better. So most mixers actually have a great built-in function which allows you to do this. If you look at where the headphone cues are, we actually have a headphone cue to the right of all of them, and this headphone cue is actually placed on the master channel. This means that when you have this headphone cue turned on, anything that's being fed through the master channel, in other words, anything that's going out to the club speakers, will also be sending to the headphones. In addition, right above the headphone knob, we have another knob titled Mixing. And this allows you to essentially crossfade between the normal input channels, which would be to the left, and the master cue channel. Therefore, if you want to be able to hear a little bit more of the normal input channels, you just have to twist this slightly to the left. If you want to hear a little bit more of the master channel, you just have to twist it slightly to the right. So the way we would do this is we would only have the headphone cue turned on for our incoming track. We would always have the master headphone cue turned on. And if we want to isolate the incoming track, we can twist the mixing knob all the way to the left. If we want to hear both equally, we can keep it in the middle. If we want to hear a bit more of the incoming one, we twist it slightly to the left. And again, if we want to hear a little bit more of the master track, we twist it slightly to the right. All the while, this only affects what you hear through the headphones. Remember that. This doesn't affect what goes out to the club whatsoever. So let me show you how you apply what I've just taught you in order to actually compose a proper DJ mix. We start with playing track 1. And I'm going to have the headphone cues set up this way. So I've got the headphone cue turned on this deck, which is linked to channel 3. And I've got the master headphone cue turned on as well. I'm going to have the mixing knob, which determines what I hear through the headphones, slightly twisted to the left, about 10 or 11 o'clock, so I can hear a bit more of the incoming track than I can hear of the master track. And the level here, adjust it to, whatever you feel comfortable with. This is just the volume for the headphones. Now, I'm going to press play on this track, I'm going to count a phrase, and then I'm going to press play on this track. The way you do this is, once you press play on this track, make sure the volume is down, but the cue is turned on. You beat match using your headphones, and when you think the track sounds good, on the beginning of the next phrase, you then turn up the volume so everybody else can hear it too. Then you leave them playing together for one phrase, and when that phrase is over, you turn down the previous track. So, load the track, make sure the BPM is the same. I'll press play and I'll start counting. This is my master track, this is my incoming one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I can hear this one through my headphones, but you can't hear it yet because I haven't turned up the channel fader. I'm going to beat match. And then at the end of the phrase, 8, 2, 3, 4, 1. I'm going to turn up the volume. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4. Down the volume. And we're into our new track. Let me go through this one more time, just so you know what you're doing. So I'm going to load a new track. I'm going to go with this one here. Step 1, match the tempo, and make sure that it's cued on the first beat of the bar. In this case it is, but if it wasn't, I would have to manually cue it. Then I'll start counting the phrase on this track, and make sure my headphone cues are set up correctly. So now I want the next incoming track's headphone cue on, and the master track's headphone cue off. Eight, 2, 3, 4, 1. That's a new phrase. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4. Play. Start beat matching. Again, the audience won't be able to hear this track until you turn up the channel fader. 7, 8, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, 1. And that's how you put together everything you've learned up to now. Of course, there's a lot more to it, and we'll get to all of it throughout this course. But for now, I'll see you in the next video.